My warranty's expired. What excitement. How exciting. All right, fix the her. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Coming back to you with an actual book review today. So I alluded it to in my favorite fan fiction storytelling apps video. So if you haven't checked that one out, definitely make sure you go back, watch that one as well. But today we'll be reviewing the Lady of Darkness. Specifically, it's book number 1 in the Lady of Darkness series by Melissa, I can't say her last name still, Melissa Roehrich. I'm so sorry, Melissa, if you ever see this. But yeah, so like I said in the other video, I'm struggling to finish the third Crescent City novel. I'm so annoyed and really disappointed. So I started reading other things to kind of get over my disappointment. And I stumbled across this book on Kindle Unlimited, and I was pleasantly surprised and a huge fan of the author and have, delved deep into the 5-book series now. So that being said, I wanted to bring you all a review. If you all remember, right, we use our Peaches 2.0 checklist. So we're covering the same things or same categories in my reviews of each book. So we're going to jump right into it with number 1. Number 1, genre. Shocker, right? It's a romantasy, it's an adventure book, but specifically this one is dark. It is really dark. So, well, I've read darker, but it's pretty dark. So if you're looking for sunshine, rainbows, roses, all that, this is not the book for you. Number 2, spice level. I'd say like 1 out of 5, maybe 1.5. It's like barely there. However, there is a lot of banter and a lot of flirting, which was chef's kiss. I loved it. I loved the flirting between the two main characters, which we'll get into. But in terms of actual spice and like actually doing the deed and you reading about it, you saucy minx you. There's not much. There's not much. Number 3, summary. So the tagline for this book is "Shadows always return to the darkness." So like I said, it's dark. It's very dark. What can I tell you about it? So it's a dual point of view. It goes between the female main character and the main male character. Definitely like a slow burn. Like I said, not a lot of spice, but the banter's there, the flirting's there, the building of the romance is there. So enemies to lovers. So if you're a fan of that trope, which you all know that I am, then you're definitely going to be happy about that. And I will say too, before I get into more of the storyline, definitely trigger warning. 100% trigger warning for like sexual trauma, sexual like violence, all that. So if you can't deal with that, this is not the book for you. So, what is this book about? So, Lady of Darkness follows the female main character. Her name is Scarlett Monroe. She's sometimes I feel so stupid talking about this, but you know what? I like it, so fine. So Scarlett is actually an assassin. She's owned by a ruthless assassin lord who's owned her since she was a child. And the book picks off kind of like it's almost like your plot's in the middle of the story. So there's this allusion throughout most of the book to this tragic night that happened that left her locked away in a noble's house where she's almost like pretending to be a lady, but I mean, she grew up and was trained as an assassin. She's no lady. She has to stay there until she falls in line. So like immediately like you're like what is happening, what happened that night? So that definitely kept me engaged. And then at the start of the book, she's given the choice to take on a new assignment from the assassin lord, and if she takes on this assignment, then he's going to welcome her back to the fold, and he's going to give her information and offer her revenge against the fire prince who is responsible for killing her mother, like brutally killing her mother 10 years prior. But she's kind of like very hesitant about it because of this tragic night. So again, you're like, what happened? Why all the secrecy? And then at the same time, there are a bunch of children, orphans, begin disappearing. So she's has to kind of put everything on hold to figure out what's happening to these kids. And ultimately, she kind of puts herself and her friends, their safety on the line to figure out and protect these kids. Number 4 on our checklist, main characters. Female main character, obviously, is Scarlett. She's a former assassin. The name of like the assassin's group organization. I don't know what you call them, but it's called the Black Syndicate. So she's a former assassin. She's brave. I would definitely say she's broken from whatever happened on this tragic night. Like it's really impacted her. She's feeling very broken. And she can be very dark, but she is fierce protector of those she cares about and the innocent. So I was a big fan of Scarlet. Like you really feel for her, but she doesn't ever become annoying, if that makes sense. Like some other female main characters that I will not name right now. Looking at you, Sarah J. Maas. Then the male main character. So it starts off is his name is Captain Riker Redwell. We soon find out that his name is actually Soren. So a lot of mystery around the male main character. He's a captain, eventually becomes a general in the story, and he's responsible for training this highly elite secret force for the King's army. And he's actually a Fae. So again, a lot of mystery, trying to figure out who the heck he is. But the banter between these two is just off the charts. From the very second they meet, they're constantly double entendres, innuendos, flat out flirting, oh, look at me in my bathrobe. Like, it just, this which leads me into number 5, the supporting characters. Oh, did I say? If you couldn't tell, 5 out of 5. That's my rating for the main characters, which supporting characters also 5 out of 5. Specifically in this story, which I thought was really impressive. It's, I think, a little over 500 pages in total, but Melissa does a really great job of there's not a ton of supporting characters, but the ones that are there, like she builds a backstory, they all have a personality, they all have something that's driving them. They felt fully developed, which is versus sometimes the supporting characters are just like it's like the author felt like the main character needed somebody to talk to for 5 minutes. There's like nothing there. So you've got Prince Callan, who's actually Scarlett's former lover. So there's a whole like not a triangle, but like there's some drama there. And then his personal guards and friends, Sloane and Finn, are present throughout the book. Then Cassius, he is also a member of the Assassins group union. But he's also Scarlett's dear friend. Then you've got Nuri and Juliet, who are Scarlett's sisters. They're also assassins. There's the assassin lord who, obviously full of secrets, super cruel, definitely gives an intimidation factor and you believe it. It's not like, I don't know, sometimes books are like, oh my God, this guy's so bad. And they never actually like deliver on why they're bad. Not the case with this guy. And then same with Mikhail. Just to summarize him, ick, like super ick and creepy and just no. No. Yeah, so 5 out of 5 on supporting characters. Number 6. Number 6. Favorite part. So it's not like a specific part, but I would just say Scarlett and Soren's banter throughout is just, like I said, chef's kiss, delicious, wonderful, scrumptious, scrumdiddlyumptious. And at one point, she like throws a knife at his face, and then he still keeps flirting. Like, come on. It's what you love to read. Which leads me into number 7, favorite line, to provide you some context here. Be an assassin, you obviously have to do things you're not proud of. You don't necessarily want the people you care about or who are near and dear to your heart to see and judge you for. She has this line, she's like, no matter what you see tonight, no matter who I am, promise me you'll, and she kind of trails off and she's closing her eyes. She's all, and then Soren looks at her and he says, I will find the light, Scarlet. And it's kind of a theme. And he says different versions of it throughout, but just, especially the light of darkness, the theme of darkness throughout the book and the series, but just that finding the light. Kind of corny, but I really like it. Number 8, overall thoughts. We're almost there. Obviously 5 out of 5. Maybe I was just really disappointed by the third Crescent City novel, that when I read this, I was just overly generous. I don't think so, but I was pleasantly surprised. I had very few expectations. I don't even know how I found it. I was just scrolling and it's like, you may like these books or whatever. And I just kind of took a shot and I freaking love it. 5 out of 5. So I love the banter. There's a lot of secrets. There's mystery. The Fae start entering into the book more and more towards the middle, towards the end. So you get this magic element. I'm already reading book number 2. I'm like halfway through, and I think the series has 5 books in total, and I believe they're all finished already. So you don't have to wait for the next one. You can immediately just keep reading through them. And it took me maybe a day to read it. And that's how I know I like a book. Like if it's taking, I'm, what am I, like 3/4 of the way through Crescent City 3, and it's just sitting on my nightstand, and I can't bring myself to read one more thing that Bryce will do that just drives me nuts. The fact that I just turn through, I was gasping out loud, reacting out loud. I was so into this book and really just enjoyed it. And again, that's why I love to read. So 5 out of 5, freaking loved it. And there's nothing else to say on that. Comment down below if you have read this book or you think, it sounds interesting to you. Come back once you've read it. Let me know your thoughts. And again, let's just spread the love to authors who aren't as well known, but are still, churning out these really wonderful books. And maybe they will be the next Sarah J. Maas, right? And they won't disappoint us. Just kidding. I still love her, but I'm a little salty about, the most recent release. So with that, like this video, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video. So until then, bye.